yesterday's. It was amazing. So what do we have to say? What's going on now? We're certainly challenged by our ability to shape destiny. We're challenged by our desire to either be apathetic or activists, victims or victors, Americans or sheep. And one of my favorite books is from the 70s, written by a guy named Jay Bronowski, called The Ascent of Man. And what's really great about this book, I mean, in addition to being a lot of fun stuff about nature, but in the first chapter, he defines us. Look at all the living critters on the planet Earth. Mankind is the only one that if you were to drop any of us in any environment, without all of our wonderful pieces of clothing and stuff, we would die. We are not suited naturally for any environment on Earth. We must change it. We are environment changers. And Americans, historically, are very different even from that, because we come and descend from people who left their own countries, came here because they wanted to be entrepreneurs and have a better life, a better way. And there are studies done today that say that genetically we are different because of that. Because of natural selection. The people who came here had the mindset that they wanted to create, to do new things, and have new ideas. And here we are hundreds of years later. And we are. That is what we are genetically. Think about the earthquake. What nation on earth will respond more, as this gentleman said, more than we? What about New Zealand, Haiti, Chile, any natural disaster? No nation on this planet gives. I'm not talking about taxpayer dollars that go to these countries. It's bad enough. We give out of our hearts because of our humanity. And then when we get bashed in the UN by all these other nations who pale by per capita comparison, it's pathetic. But we have an administration that doesn't like American exceptionalism. And we must never forget that that's what we really are. The real threat to our nation today from the left national, incrementalism. It's something no one talks about incrementalism, but that's the way the left takes us on. They don't do it all at once. They do it little by little. Remember when they tried to get cigarette smoking out of long flights, and then short flights, and then out of airports, and then out of buildings, and now in California out of public parks, and there are more cities that are wanting to make it illegal anywhere. It's a legal product. They don't want you to be able to do it. They do it incrementally. And that's what they've done with medicine today. Obamacare is not designed to be successful. It was designed to help kids and to get us all health care. It's going to fine us $750 per person for those who don't wish to purchase health care insurance. It wasn't designed to help people. It was designed to destroy what was left of the free market. Since it's been implemented, you have several agencies, insurance companies that no longer provide insurance for children. Where are you going to get insurance? You're going to have a single-payer system. This is incrementalism at its worst. We look at deficit spending. It's amazing. If we had the deficits that we have today under George Bush, don't you think the media would have had a conniption fit? No, but it's okay now because it's bomb. Energy prices. Do you think that energy prices, the administration and those on the left want them to be lower or higher? Higher. They want them to be higher because the only way alternative energy works is if gas becomes $7, $8, $9 a gallon. All of the design, smart growth, all of those things are designed to get you out of your cars because cars are evil. And we must have alternative energy. All of these are attacks on the free market. Look at the global warming, climate change crowd, cap and trade. These are things that are all designed to make life more difficult. You also look at the massive expansion of the FCC, the EPA, the FDA. Look at what's happened. We had the Food Modernization and Safety Act that Richard Burr supported. This puts all new controls on farmers here in this state. Even local farmers, vegetable stands on the side of the road. This is a massive expansion of federalist powers. The FCC and the Fairness Doctrine, and what we've got now with net neutrality, they want to put all of internet control under the FCC? Are you kidding me? The most successful free market experiment in the past 20 years, I would say the past 100, is the internet. It has done just fine without the government, and it will do better yet. The sense of entitlements that are eating us alive, nothing but astounding. Here in North Carolina, we are at a remarkable time in history. The last time we had a majority in the North Carolina House and the Senate was in 1868. And it was a coalition of Whigs and Republicans, but Republicans held the House and the Senate. That's astounding, 140 years. It amazes me. We have a veto-proof Senate. We've got a governor in office that has veto power only since 1997. It's been used 12 times since 1997. Governor Perdue has used it 3 times since January. How does this work? Because over in the House, we got a lot done, but we didn't get it all done. We're 4 votes shy of a veto-proof House. In order to make things happen, there's one of 3 things that have to happen. The Republicans have to cave. You've got to get 4 Democrats to join Republicans, or you shut down the government. That's it. When we get to budget time, those are the 3 options. So Tim Spear, that number that's on your table, and that please keep it, because he's going to be one of those 4 that they're going to need to make things happen. We have a governor that in September said taxes weren't in her vocabulary. I love that one. And then I listened to her speech, and then she presented her budget, and the temporary taxes that were supposed to go away are still in the budget. At least 3/4 of the temporary sales tax. She also has problems apparently with troopers, as you know. And not too far from here, a good friend of hers that ran the trooper agency for a while. Turns out she got out of a traffic fender bender up in Raleigh many years ago that she said all of you already knew about. Did you know about that? She got in a fender bender, didn't know the laws, went back, a fellow senator said, oh, you broke the law, you need to report it. Then she socially promoted 2 or 3 of those troopers, one of which moved to New Bern near her, became the head of the North Carolina Highway Patrol, and then became scandal-ridden. She's got plane investigations where she's taken dozens of flights, and there's already been 1 indictment on that. And this is the most magnificent thing about our government. She flies to Washington, D.C., she meets with the president. She is in a state that is testing Obamacare because the House and Senate put together a bill saying you, the citizens of this state, should not have to buy health insurance if you don't want to. That's all that bill did. She went and met with Obama. She was going to let that bill pass. It was on her desk. Without a signature, 10 days it becomes law. But the 9th day, 3 days after seeing the president, she signed the veto on it. Now, she didn't have an opinion about health care before. And then here's what she told the media. Oh, while I met with the president, that subject never came up. Let's see, the 2012 Democrat Convention is here in North Carolina. Obama's going to be on stage with this governor, and it didn't happen to come up. But the real come-to-Jesus moment to me was when she called 5 or 6 likely Democrats that were going to vote with Republicans, Tim Spears, and down in my area, William Brisson and Dewey Hill, and they were probably going to vote with the Republicans. And they come out of her mansion all fired up to support Obamacare. What? How does that happen? I don't know how it happened, and I have yet to hear how it happened. But there's a lot to work on. We do have, in the past few years, out-of-control spending, an unbelievably corrupt state government. And now, some of the issues before. I'm going to put this back. Let's go to Reagan for a minute. What did Reagan think today of the magnificent experiment known as charter schools? Schools that are public schools that take just a percentage of the money that goes to public schools. In fact, all of the capital money that is used to build public schools stays in the public schools. Not 1 dime of capital money goes to a charter school. They are schools of choice. No children are forced to go there. Unless you think that poor kids and socio-demographically, different socio-demographics are not represented, they are, because it's done on a lottery system. They don't handpick who they deal with. So why can't we get rid of the charter cap? Governor Perdue says she's in favor of it. We're 4 votes shy. 4 votes shy. The Democrats are sticking together. It's absolutely partisan up there right now. Here's the other thing that amazes me. What's happening in Wisconsin, getting rid of collective bargaining, and the unions know the end is near. And that is why they're going after this. Unlike other unions that worked in mines and suffered diseases and had, their birth came from child labor laws that didn't exist and horrible working conditions. What horrible working conditions have public employees ever had? Oh, you had to leave at 5 o'clock. It was terrible. They're not suffering. Their collective bargaining didn't come from